I really love the weekends. I don't know if you're like this, a cozy sleep in, and really lovely this morning. We had the door open, lovely warm duvet, cold air, and around dawn there was this distant sound of motorcycle racing. There's there's a motorcycle circuit about I don't know 8 to 10 kilometers away. You can just hear it. So I was going, whoa, here am I lying in bed. And there's these guys racing around and around and around. It's an amazing world, isn't it? It's a really amazing world. But actually, when we talk about the world, this is something that Maria brought up as well, not looking good, it doesn't look good at all. Like the world goes through kind of different cycles of karma, and the masters said, that people say, oh, the times are bad, and what they said, but no, that's not the case. It's that the people are bad. If you think about it, that's what's causing all this. It's not the planet, it's the people. And so what's at the root of this malaise, this illness, and it's very root of it is dissatisfaction, personal dissatisfaction. And of course, personal dissatisfaction can become group dissatisfaction. But that's at the root of it, Even these billionaires, the root is personal dissatisfaction. And no conflict was ever caused by love and compassion. There's a lovely phrase as well. This came from the time. This came from, I think, the 70s. Maybe 80s. There was this phrase: "Think globally, but act locally." What that means is it all boils down to you and me. We can't stop. We can't talk sense to Mr. Putin. We can't educate Mr. Trump. But it all boils down to you and me. What in particular? Becoming well in our own skin. Being well in our own skin. And then acting from that wellness. But the weird thing is that this wellness is our default condition. This wellness is how we actually are. But we've become distracted from it. Our natural condition is wholesomeness. Sure, your upbringing can further distance you from that. But when you look at it again, you have to say, well, what is it? What distracts me from my wholesome nature? And it's very simple. It's judgments and positions. Now, this is what I'm saying here is very, very tight. It's very concentrated. But when you look at it in your own case, just in your own being, what is it that distracts me from my well-being? Judgments and positions. I like this experience, don't like that experience. Like that's okay, Nobody is saying you should like a food that you don't like, that kind of, it's okay, But the problem is that we become entangled in that judgment. We become entangled we struggle. Isn't this the case? We struggle. Grasping, rejecting, discontentment. So, what can you do? When you find this struggle happening in yourself, you simply put it down and leave it there. You simply leave it alone. You put it down, leave it there. Don't fiddle with it. Don't mess with it. Leave it alone. And even if it's just for a moment, when you do that, you will experience a little touch of wellness in your own being. Now, one of the things that people misunderstand is that, when you feel well in yourself, it doesn't mean that means you don't act. It means, everything is fine, there's not whitewashing, there's shit is there, but it doesn't mean that we don't act to right suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or taking arms against a sea of trouble, was something upend them, Doesn't mean we don't act, but that our actions stem from wellness, not from discontent. This is the secret. And that's what we practice here on a Saturday morning. Otherwise known as natural great ease. So, we're not imposing an altered state of mind. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're just putting down, leaving as it is. A moment of wellness, entanglement, another moment of wellness. Moment of wellness after moment of wellness. You experience the original wholesome you. When you when you train in this way, you discover, this is really important, when you train in this way, putting down, leaving it alone, experiences become just experiences. You're not the victim, you're just an observer. So, let's do that. Okay? Putting it down isn't an activity. It's a not doing. It's a non-engagement. It's allowing. We're not imposing anything. We're simply leaving everything alone. If you're not grasping, there's nothing to be done. If you find yourself grasping, just put it down. If you can't put it down, watch your breath for a couple of breaths. Distract yourself from the judgment. But you don't have to fixate on your breath. You just leave everything as it is. It's just very ordinary. Yeah? And there's no special state. Just freedom. That's all it is. Stop trying to do something. It's just freedom. And with your body, you're still, but it's not a stiff stillness. It's an ease. When you stop moving, you'll actually feel something different. Something settles. Once it's settled, then your movement is different. Your movement is like an expression of that well-being of being settled. Doesn't mean you don't have to be stiff. It's very nice to be like this, but you don't need to grasp at it. That spoils it. Just ordinary, just at ease, natural great peace. And you know, you don't have to limit yourself to a Saturday morning. Once you know the trick, you can be like this lots of times. Put it down, leave it alone. That's it. So, that's it. Back to the real world.